What's up, guys? NBA Talk. Today's March 31st, I believe, the last day of March before April. Thursday, 2016. Basketball, of course. We're inching away to the playoffs. We only have a few games, less than 10 games. We had the Cleveland Cavaliers beating Brooklyn Nets after they lost to them last time. The Magic defeating the Pacers, and you have the New Orleans Pelicans defeating the Denver Nuggets. When in a weird way, are beating them without Anthony Davis. They're playing harder, even though they're pretty much out of the playoffs. So I'll be covering the Clippers game with facing Thunder and Boston versus Portland. So right now I want to talk about the team that finished earlier, the Chicago Bulls versus the Houston Rockets. Both teams are struggling to get into a spot into the playoffs. I know for a fact right now, both Chicago and Houston are both looking outside in. They're trying to get into the playoffs. Uh, shoot. Houston is in ninth place in the Western Conference, while the Chicago Bulls are in ninth place as well. So these teams have a lot to lose, and eventually Chicago Bulls win this game by three, 103 to 100. It was a very close game, no doubt about it. Shoot, Mirotic showed up big time in this game. I'll get to him in a sec. So let me just do it quarter by quarter. Pretty much identical in the first half. 24-24 in the first quarter for both teams. 28-28 for both teams. And then, of course, Houston turned it up in the third quarter. But then Chicago destroyed them in the fourth quarter. Um, Pretty much putting the pressure always in the fourth quarter. Trevor Ariza tried to make a three, but it didn't happen. So Chicago wins this game, a much needed game for them. So let's look at the stats of the Chicago Bulls first. Mike Dunleavy only played 9 minutes, and so did Portis, who is filling in for Taj Gibson, who is injured due to a broken rib, I believe, something with his ribs. He only played 10 minutes. Paul Gasol had 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists. He did make 6 turnovers, but he's been one of the more useful guys in the roster. Jimmy Butler did not lead the team though. 21 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds, and a couple of steals too. Derrick Rose only played 11 minutes. I don't know what happened. I didn't pay attention to him. Mirotic coming off the bench with 28 points. Fantastic. Shot good from the 3-point range, 5 out of 10. And then you have McDermott filling in for Derrick Rose minute time with 15 points. And that's pretty much it. The Chicago Bulls shot 45% from the 3-point range, mostly because of Mirotic. 48% overall, 81% from the free throw line, 15 turnovers though, but they did pass a lot. They had 28 assists overall. So that's pretty much it for the Chicago Bulls. They inch closer and closer to the, I believe, Detroit. They're under. No, actually Indiana, because Detroit just moved over to the 7th spot. Chicago Bulls are one game behind the Indiana Pacers and 2 games behind the Detroit Pistons. So let's look at it. Still like 8 to 7 games left, I believe. So they still have a chance to make it, and this is a very well needed win for them. So Houston Rockets did good in all 3 quarters except the fourth. Trevor Ariza had 14 points, 3 out of 8 shooting from the 3 point range. Of course, he missed the tying three to send this to overtime or anything. Monty Jonas only played 12 minutes. Dwight Howard played 28 minutes, but only took 4 shots. It's like he's become useless now on the offensive end. He had 7 points, and he had 13 rebounds and 3 block shots. He's playing decent in the defensive end, but offensively, it's just like they just left him out. And he didn't even go to the free throw line that much. James Harden, 24 points, shot the most, 8 out of 20, 8 assists, and 2 block shots. Beverley having a career high 22 points, 7 assists. And then we have Beasley coming off the bench with 20 points and 11 rebounds. The team overall shot 36% from the 3 point range, 40% overall, 86% from the free throw line, because pretty much Dwight Howard wasn't on the free throw line enough. 9 turnovers, that's it. And that's pretty much it. I'm not sure. I don't know who is going to come out of the West, because it's a battle between Utah Jazz, Mavericks, and Houston Rockets. These 3 teams are fighting for playoff spots. Pretty much 2 spots left: the 7th spot and the 8th spot. I don't know who's going to make it, who's not, because pretty much Mavericks are hurt. Utah Jazz don't have the offensive power. So I don't know if they can compete offensively. Houston Rockets are just a dysfunctional team. It's like they're never in sync, especially on the defensive end. So that's pretty much it. The Chicago Bulls have a big time game to play. They face Detroit Pistons, of all teams, Saturday night. So this is a big needed win. They could just knock down the Detroit Pistons down a notch while elevating themselves up. And since Indiana lost, another loss would, I think this will put them in the 8th spot. And yeah, that's pretty much knock Indiana out of their playoff spot. And it would pretty much be 1, B1, B1. Everybody have a 1 over the other. The Houston Rockets play against Oklahoma City Thunder. I expect Oklahoma City Thunder to demolish this team for sure Sunday. So that's pretty much it for me. These 2 teams are fighting to get playoff spots. It's going to be tough. I think Chicago has a better shot than the Houston Rockets, because Houston Rockets are still dealing with top tier teams. You have Mavericks playing decent defense, and Utah Jazz playing great defense, one of the best defensive teams in the league. And these guys can't defend for the life of them, the Houston Rockets. Chicago Bulls may be hurt, but they play hard. And I think with Indiana messing up a lot, losing tonight against the Magic, and Detroit, we don't know what they're gonna do, even though they have a good squad in the starting lineup. So it's up to them. So that's it. Still 2 more games to go. So peace.